PJ Washington is a rookie from the 2019 NBA draft that isn't really talked about as much in this draft class despite his solid season. PJ is a young power forward who has shown promise in his activity on the court. PJ, along with Miles Bridges, Devontae Graham, Malik Monk, is another building block in this Charlotte Hornets young core. PJ is a stretch four who provides an inside presence as well as three-point shooting. He's 6'7", around 235 pounds, and that is a good mold for a forward coming into the NBA. Before I start this video, if you do like the video, please do like, comment, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe. It really helps in supporting this channel. I do more of these player analysis on the channel, and I really like making them for you guys. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video. PJ Washington this season has averaged 12.2 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 45% from the field, 37% from 3, and 64% from the free throw line. His overall true shooting percentage on the season is at 54%. He played in 30 minutes a game, so he is getting opportunities. It's just now building on his set foundation. Most of his damage comes from inside, and he is able to take his defenders off the dribble, using mostly straight line drives to score. He is fairly limited to straight line drives due to his limited ball handling skills, but when he gets to the rim, he is really good at absorbing contact and finishing. In the restricted area, he is shooting at 60%, while finishing in the paint area, he is only shooting at 35%. An area where he needs to look to boost his efficiency from there. When he is driving for a layup, he is shooting it at 34%. He has to look to improve on converting these, especially given his length and his ability to get to the rim. He is also a threat off the pick and roll to roll and finish inside. He can also be a lob threat cutting to the rim. He is really good working in the post. He is very comfortable working there, and he looks to score frequently from there. He takes advantage of mostly smaller defenders and has that bully ball mentality to him to take advantage of mismatches and score. He does get pressured and halted by guys with much more length than he does and much more physical defenders. This is where he has to improve on his touch near the rim. He doesn't really have a face-up game to him that he can consistently go to. PJ has to be more consistent scoring down low. A weakness of his comes from not having a soft touch, and that sometimes shows with some of his misses. He oftentimes is careless with the ball in the post, and with much experienced defenders, they look to strip him. He isn't all too there yet as a post player, but he has the building blocks to be effective down there. With his passing ability, maximizing his potential as a post threat will be key to opening up opportunities for his teammates. I really like PJ's ability to play make out of the post, and overall just really good at finding his teammates near the rim or shooters. This is a part of PJ's game that he can look to improve upon and take the pressure off of a Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham. Once he becomes more dominant as an inside presence, he's going to get a lot of double teams, and he has already shown the simple and even advanced reads to pass it to his teammates. He's really good at reading when help defenders are approaching him, and he makes the right kinds of passes to his teammates. Right now, he isn't a main ball handler, but he can very well grow into one. He lacks advanced ball handling and shot creation that can open up potential shots for his teammates. There are questions surrounding just his hands in general. He sometimes fumbles the ball a lot when getting passes, and that destroys the momentum built for him to score a potential open shot. PJ is very right hand dominant, and he rarely looks to utilize his left hand to score, and when he does, it's not all too pretty. PJ as a shooter has been impressive this season, and he gives the Hornets much needed floor spacing and another three-point shooter on their team. Now, PJ's three-point shooting does run hot and cold at times. There were games where his shooting was really good and he knocked down multiple threes. Then there are games where he runs extremely cold and some of his misses are just really bad. He does have a good foundation of his shot, It's just he has to knock these down consistently, and he gets really good looks, mostly above the break, to do so. PJ has attempted 233 pointers and only knocked down 86 on the season. A huge bulk of his threes comes from catch and shoot opportunities, and he rarely works off the dribble for a 3-point shot. He only attempts around 4 threes a game, which is good given his situation. In catch and shoot and pull-up situations, he shoots it both at 38%, but obviously a bulk of his 3-point shooting comes from catch and shoot. He shoots it really well when he is wide open at 41%, but when he is guarded tight and his shot gets contested, his percentage drops down to 25%. As long as he's able to hit down an open 3-point shot, he is still very much valuable to the Hornets. As stated before, majority of his 3-point shots comes from above the break, attempted 166 threes from there and made 54 of them, 32% from there. He is a much better shooter from the corners. The left corner, he shoots the 3 at 55%, and the right corner, he shoots it at 42%. PJ really has a good foundation on his shot. Fundamentally, it all looks good. He's just going to have to build on shooting it consistently, being able to shoot it in tough coverage. You won't be seeing him shoot threes off the dribble that much because his ball handling at the moment is very limited. PJ's mid-range game is non-existent. Doesn't really look to work from there that much, very low volume, but when he has worked from there, he only shot it at 29%. His free throws are a concern because he only gets to the line around twice a game and he shoots it at 64%. He's going to have to work on building this because as time goes on and he builds on being a much more inside presence, he's going to get more free throw opportunities. PJ Washington as a defensive player is still growing, but there is a lot of potential he has on that end. His 7'2" wingspan can really help a lot in picking off passing lanes. He is much more suited guarding forwards and sorta sometimes guarding centers depending their height and how much skill they have. He struggles defending much more speedy guards as he lacks the foot speed to keep up with them. He doesn't really know how to best utilize his defensive tools, being his wingspan, to disrupt plays. A lot of the times he just isn't engaged, and this is a good amount of times leading to him getting beat. There really isn't much positives from him when guarding the perimeter, but when guarding the forward positions, he is much more effective, especially in the post. This is where he has a better feel of utilizing his arms, bodying the offensive player, and just staying with them. He isn't the best post defender, but there is a lot of positives here. He does get beat by much established players, much more skilled players in the league, but he has a better feel in defending the post than he does working in the perimeter. He is also a really good help defender, especially when protecting the rim. He goes up strong vertically and alters shots, really good at knowing when to rotate defensively to disrupt the potential open look. He's just much more of a defender around the post area than the perimeter. He's capable of switching and holding his own against guards, but if he is isolated against, it is over. PJ Washington was a good pickup by the Charlotte Hornets. He is growing as a player and has shown a lot of potential to grow into something more. This young Hornets team played very competitive this season, and they were projected to be the worst team in the league. With the right amount of growth and more talent on this team, such as a case with PJ as he grows, the Hornets can very well grow to becoming a playoff team in a few years.